Welcome back, everybody, to the studio for the second part of this fourth day of the second New Eden Open. With me is the fantastic CCP Fozzie and the delightful CCP Dolan.
Nice to be back.
Yes. So we have at least 4 awesome matches guaranteed, potentially 6.
Mm-hmm. And honestly, I think we're probably going to see more than 4.
Yeah, I think we're going to go all 6 matches. That's my gut feeling here, and I really think we're gonna see all 6 matches here.
We'll have to see. So it would only be 4 if teams go 2-0 in the series. So what we have coming up right now is 2 series, best of 3 each. We're going to be interleaving them so that we don't have long delays between each of them.
Yep.
So you're going to see the first match of We Hurt versus Kobaz Inside, then the first match of Thingy versus Warlord to the Deep, and then vice versa back and forth. The second match of We Hurt and Kobaz, then the second match of Thingy Warlords, and then if we need them, the third matches.
Yep.
So we have to really hope that Thingy versus Warlords of the Deep doesn't go to best of 3. And We Heard versus Colbats only goes to 2, because then we're gonna have like an hour to hang out with you guys in between the 2 matches.
That's fine. So I'm gonna go to Twitter real quick, and we're gonna check out some of the tweets that were made during the break. The first one I'm gonna read out here is from Sardcade at Sardcade. He says, "Stream is up for the We Heard versus Colbas Sunday match. Match starts in 45 minutes," and then he links his stream twitch.tv/Sardcade. It's an important thing to note. A lot of those guys are streaming, so you can watch the tournament from their perspective as well as from the tournament stream through something what I believe is called multi-stream. So definitely check that out. The next one I want to read is from our very own CCP guard. He says he's at the Meltdown Bar in London watching the NEO2 with some immortal capsuleers. Join us if you're in the hood. So definitely, if you're situated in London, then you should jump out right now and go to Meltdown. But reading through
really
these,
quickly,
as long as you're very close to Meltdown, because you don't want to miss the first match.
No, definitely not. So I'm reading these tweets here, and there's something about a train.
Really?
Yes.
I've been hearing something about that train.
So
apparently it's made of hype.
now we're back in the olden days where train conductors were a real thing. As you can see on your screen, this is actually a really old clip of me.
Are you implying that train conductors no longer exist?
Yeah, that's a real thing, dude.
No.
There's a lot of very offended train conductors out there.
No, come on.
We're going to see our stream numbers drop, and that's going to be how many train conductors were watching us.
I'm not saying that they.
I would go so
I'm
far
talking
to
about the special effects. See?
Okay,
Is
okay.
this happening in today? No. We're going back in time where train conductors we're kind of more of a benchmark job in society. We're like,
I would
still with the insults.
I would suspect that there are more train conductors now than there were in the 1930s.
Probably. It shows how much I know about trains.
See, we've gone forward in time now.
We've now joined the 21st century.
You're now a modern train conductor, which is, of course, a respectable job for intelligent, noble people.
Yep.
It's really good. And when I was Googling train conductor hats and kind of figuring out how they look like, there was a lot of Googling on train conductor salaries, and it pays pretty well. So train conducting, definitely a good thing. I quite like it myself, although I am only train conducting a hypothetical hype train, but it's pretty fun.
I'm curious to know how bad you are at Google that you were Googling for pictures of train conductor hats and ended up finding out what their salary is.
No, it was one of the suggestions. I just clicked it out of curiosity.
Right. Well, really, when you think about it, people Googling for train conductor hats, what they look like, that's usually because they want to become a train conductor or want to think about becoming a train conductor.
That is
Google
true.
was just like steps ahead of
it knows what's up.
Yeah.
Yep. So we actually have the bands up here for the match. We're about 3 to 4 minutes out from this match. So let's talk about it a little bit.
It's a pretty interesting band still.
It is. It is the hype train that is behind We Hurt versus Colbas Inside. Colbas Inside, obviously, a really experienced and tough tournament team. And even though the train is moving fast, it's going to have a hard time breaking through the barricade that is Colbas Inside. But if they can do that, that is the 3rd real big upset that they've given us in this tournament. So We Hurt has banned the Sleipnir and the Vindicator, and Colbas Inside has banned the Gila and the Ishtar.
Yeah, so Sleipnir, Vindicator, a bit more. None of them are really stand out as really odd bands.
Yeah.
But I think the big thing is when you see Gila Ishtar band from any team, you have to be thinking that they're worried about kiting drone teams.
Definitely.
They're worried about a fast-moving sentry drone drop and spread out team, which usually means they're going to be going with a bit of a slower setup. So what I think may have happened here, We Heard had the first band Sleipnir, and then Colbas Inside banned Gila Ishtar. We Heard then figures, okay, they're afraid of something that's really fast. They're probably going to be bringing Battleship heavy DPS, for instance. They're not going to be something that moves really quickly. So
Yeah.
let's go and ban out the Vindicator. That might actually throw a wrench in their plans.
So we looked at those bans during the break,
Mm-hmm.
and I was wondering if they're afraid of that kind of slow-moving, we don't want a caddy team setup from Kolbaz's side, why not ban out the Navy Dami, which is something that they have brought
Yep.
before, and they did it like really effectively.
Yeah,
so,
we saw Kobaz bring a Navy Dami Brutix Navy issue
Yeah.
in their match 1 week ago, last Sunday, and it worked out really well for them. So that may be the kind of thing, like that's the kind of setup where a Gila Ishtar ban would be very logical.
Yeah.
Do you know what also is good against both kinds of setups and just about everything, and also isn't banned, is Dami setups?
Yeah, Dominic's is
that's
obviously
a very likely
strong
setup.
ship.
I mean, we've seen We Heard bring Damis before.
Mm-hmm.
That was in their first match versus Team Footwork. That went pretty well. So
Yeah.
there are a lot of open possibilities here. Also,
I would
no
be
golden ban.
surprised- Yeah, I'd be surprised if we didn't see any Dommies in this fight. But we'll have to see exactly what they end up bringing. Yeah, Golem ban. I don't think Golem is nearly as significant of a left open ship as
No, definitely
Dominic's
not.
is. Obviously, it's been banned quite a bit, but you can kind of replace it with a Varger. There's a lot of other setups.
There's
that
other
do similar
options,
things, yeah.
and
So-
it's also just not like a wow. It's a ship that doesn't like strike fear into my heart. It's a ship that's okay.
What I said
Does good-
earlier.
does some things well.
What I said earlier, after semicolon drop table users brought the double Dami Golem setup, I said that would probably never be possible again in the tournament.
Because everyone would be banning Dommies.
Yes, but no, like
And golems.
that is open now. So
Yep.
like that maybe somebody saw that. I doubt somebody else practiced that, like to the extent that it.
I doubt anyone
appears
else
that
is gonna bring
semicolon
it.
Drop table users kind of.
Yeah, I mean,
but
it was okay, but it wasn't a standout like hit of a setup. I do think it would have been very vulnerable to just shooting the Dommies.
yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely. We're about 30 seconds out for this match. So so let's talk about how the best of 3 will go. So like
Yes.
we'll talk about the best of 3, then we'll go into no, we'll not.
Because
the match is
30
ready.
seconds is up, yeah.
Yes.
So I'm going to go, as much as I love the We Heard train,
Yes.
I really, really am happy that We Heard's going this far. My heart is on the We Heard hype train. My brain isn't in this case.
Ooh.
I really do think Kobaz is the stronger of the two teams. But I would be very, very happy if We Heard surprised me.
Having your heart and your brain on separate trains seems
know,
like
it-
it's hazardous to your health.
Yes.
I'm going to put my entire body safely within the confines of the unstoppable Kobaz Inside train. It's a train that's got one of those cow pushers in the front. It's ready for anything.
All right. Well, unsurprisingly, I'm going to go with my heart on this one and vote We Hurt. All aboard!